Welcome to Sparking Success with Aaron Opalewski. Aaron brings you conversations that spark innovation, cultivate leadership skills, and pave the way for your business success. In each episode, we delve into the dynamic world of business and leadership, exploring strategies, insights, and success stories that fuel your professional journey. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Sparking Success. My name is EJ Swanson. I'm here with my good friend Aaron. Aaron, how you doing today, man?
Great. Good to be back in the studio.
It is.
For at least today.
It is.
We might have a day or two out again.
Yeah, the studios has treated us very well, creating some great content within it. One of the suites nearby us had a bit of a water issue, and it came in through the walls a little bit into the suite, but thankfully the team's doing a great job figuring that out, and we're still able to primarily create everything we can, including this amazing podcast. So I'm grateful to be here with you today. But today we're going to talk about something really exciting, actually something really fun. And I want to talk about how you gave away with some of your business partners 960 pizzas last week.
Yeah, that happened last week.
That happened.
So, yeah.
Man, I got to see some pictures and some footage and things like that of the event. The media coverage around it was great, too. People lined up outside of the store. And was that just one store you guys did that out of or multiple?
So it's the second time we've done it.
Okay.
So we have 5 stores right now.
Got it.
At the moment, we committed to do another 3, but we have 5. And we did it in one of the other stores. So this is the second store that we did it in. We're going to be doing it in all 5. But this is my first time going down and physically doing one of these events,
right,
which was fun.
Yeah. Well, today, part of the reason that we want to talk about it is because, not only client acquisition or gaining new clients or customers for many of our listeners, depending on the market that they're in, is super important and a huge part of business success. And we alluded to a little bit, and so did you. Part of your investment portfolio, I think, is the best way to say it, is some pizza chains. Do you want to talk more about that this morning?
Yeah, we're actively involved in the businesses. We have a partner that sits in there and is the operating partner, Jake, who's awesome.
Yeah.
But we're involved in what's going on. So I look at it as, it is an investment, right? But
right.
It's active work.
Yeah, it's more one of the businesses that you get to run.
It's not, it's not these situations where it's like, passive income,
right,
and all this
right.
stuff. No. We're actively doing work within it for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that just speaks to the type of, a business owner that you are. You love being part of active things, and I love that too. I'm sure Jake and the rest of the team that you work with there is thankful for your leadership as well.
It's, I don't really feel like I provide much leadership in it. It's really a group effort, in that scenario. There's chances to lead or share advice or experiences, and we all kind of have our own swim lanes in doing that, which makes it a good partnership. But it's a team effort,
right?
Of that group of kind of like managing partners of that business.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Well, give us a little bit of the ideation behind giving away almost 1,000 pizzas and why that's so important for the people that we're listening today, and then we'll dive deeper into it.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of reasons why, we want to do that. Let's hit them all.
Yeah.
So we want to get, we own, Jets Pizza franchises, and they're initially based out of Detroit, well known in Detroit.
Yes.
Our stores are in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
So we have customer base and people know what it is, but it's not as established as it is, here in Southeast Michigan, right?
Right.
So one of the reasons we want to do something like this is to get our name out there more, to get more involved in the community, to have, more people come in and try the product because we know the product's great. But if people don't know about it, right?
Yeah.
Then they don't know. So we're building up that brand recognition that's already really strong in Southeast Michigan, and we want to do everything we can to make it stronger in the Dayton, Ohio market as well. So there's that. It's just a cool thing to do, within the community and get to meet people within the community. And then there's like the more tactical, reason, which is, probably what we're focused on today. Cause, and we'll even talk about how this is deployed out there. Cause my main job was not making the pizzas, thankfully. Like, I'm learning, a little bit about that, but I was on line control, passing out pizzas, handing out additional free coupons, which we'll get to.
Yep.
And just kind of like greeting people and getting to know them a little bit. So the main thing that we want to do with this, though, or look at this, is like, hey, like, yeah, we're giving this away. There's a cost associated to that. We know what our cost of goods sold percentage is on product. We know, what we're paying our team. We know that in that night is going to affect sales.
Right.
Although we did have some additional sales too.
Okay.
But we gave away a lot of free pizza.
Right.
So there's a cost up front to that. But we understand what that cost is. And we also understand something else, which is lifetime value of the customer.
Got it.
And
Okay.
so what we're trying to do is create more customers.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big proponent of like bringing out, like we didn't just give away one pizza
Yep.
to a family. We gave away a pizza for every person that you came with.
Got it.
And yes, there were a few situations where people probably took advantage of the situation a little bit.
Yep.
And that's okay. Some of that's factored in. Like
Yeah.
We
gonna
understood
happen.
that was going to happen. But what we got out is a lot of kids.
Okay.
And so let's start with that. Like, who do you think makes the pizza decisions in the household?
I know who makes it in my household.
Who is it?
Dad, let's go to Jets.
There
Like,
you-
I mean,
it's the kids.
that's what they say. When I try and, choose something different, they say, Dad, we want the square pizza that's thick. Now, my kids are little, and they also, rave about, Jets Ranch. If you're not, a part of this pizza company or ever had it, you guys have the best ranch around. And my kids make the decision. I'm sure yours likely do as well.
They're starting to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of kids out, and a lot of them, we were talking to people in line, right?
Yeah.
And it was their first time coming out, or heard, we didn't know you were here. Thank you so much for doing this. Why are you doing this?
Yep.
And so, okay, well, we got the kids out. They're trying the product if they like it. Like knowing that the kids make these decisions in most households, this is a great opportunity to create lifetime customers.
Yeah.
Not only like in the short term, but like, okay, like think about this bigger picture. Like who's got the most time in their lifetime left?
Yep.
It's the kids.
The kids.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we're looking at it with a longer term outlook in that like we understand our numbers. And on average, a customer with us spends about $550 a year.
Okay.
To put some real numbers behind it.
Yep.
Now, that's a year.
Yeah.
So map that out over 5 years,
Right.
10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, beyond that.
Yeah.
Like, understanding that, like, okay, you're going to have some kind of, I'm not going to get into every technical number
Right.
on it, but like, yes, you have people that move, different things that happen, but like, hey, if you got someone that's 5 years old, tries your pizza and loves your pizza,
Right.
and they don't move, like they could be a customer for the rest, like literally the rest of their life.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what makes like business sense to doing something like this when you have that longer term outlook. So that's an extreme example, right? But like even on a year return, that would be worth it.
Yeah.
So if on average, someone's a customer for, let's say, a decade,
Yep.
that pans out really well. You have about $5,500 in spend,
Yeah.
within that household.
Yep.
And for us to give away a free pizza or 3, 4, 5, if it's a bigger family, like that's worth it.
Right.
That's very much worth it just in that scenario, let alone like we're doing a good thing within the community. We had a lot of positive feedback. And so now let's get into, not that I had the easiest job, but we want to make sure when people are at, hey, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Well, we want to do something nice for the community. We're also hoping you enjoy the pizza,
Right.
and that you come back.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you back.
Which is an important part of, providing that value within the community is that you have the repeat customers and they do come back. And probably, I would assume, a huge reason of why you guys did this. You've already, stated that as such.
Yeah. So there's that. And then, I mean, we're really doubled down on this, or probably even tripling down on this, because not only did we do those pizza giveaways,
Yeah.
but in every pizza, we had a 50% coupon for their whole next order.
Interesting.
So then we got this family, like you got a big family, and let's say they're going to come back, and on a normal day, they want to get like a couple larges and some bread and
Yep.
a salad and all this stuff. Well, they get half off their whole next order.
So it wasn't just half off of another pizza. It was their whole next order.
Next order.
Wow. Okay.
And so that was part of my job, was communicating like, hey, this is on your whole next order,
Got it.
as much as I could.
Yep.
And, again, like, oh, well, that's going to be at a cost. And it absolutely is. But when you look at it over the outlay of that time period, that nets out very well, because what we're trying to do is get the repeat customer relationship going.
Got it.
If we get them to come in once, to try the product and they like it, let's make it advantageous for them to come back again.
Yeah.
We're already preparing to do a 25% version of that too. And then we
Okay.
probably move into kind of like a normal cycle.
Right.
But that's a lot of, rapport building with the customer base to try and, generate and get that new customer going.
Yeah. And in the yield is, again, retaining that person for a lifetime of their pizza sales or their pizza buying.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Or at least be in their rotation.
Okay. Now within that, this certainly applies to that business that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee for those who are listening, maybe some of them do own pizza stores. It's a great idea. Maybe they'll implement that. It also can cross the bridge to other aspects of the lifetime value of a customer. What would you share with people today in that avenue?
Well, I think that's like, if you're listening to podcasts or any kind of content or reading,
Yep.
right, that the people that do it well figure out how to execute.
Got it.
They don't just consume.
Yep.
They figure out how to execute with it. And, person A and person B. Person A, oh, that doesn't apply to me. This situation doesn't apply to me.
Right.
Because I don't own a pizza store or
Yeah.
whatever. Person B, how does this apply to me?
Mm-hmm.
Just that little shift. Or,
Yeah.
hey, okay, I'm hearing this. This is how I could implement that into my situation, into my business, into my role, at my organization.
Yeah.
Guess who's right? Both.
Both.
Which mindset do you want to work with?
Yeah.
Person B.
Right.
That's going to be the winning mindset. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the winning mentality.
Yeah.
It's where you get to be creative.
Yeah.
So, as you're, whether it's this or just in general, I think you're always trying to put stuff through that lens. Like, if you're going to try and look at it as like, hey, like, how does this apply?
Yeah.
Like, don't even go there that like, oh, this doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
How does it? So, and even like in doing this, right, one of the things I love about being involved in this business is it gets me thinking a little bit differently about our workforce solutions companies.
Okay.
And
How is that?
I think it just lets me see things. It's a different group.
Yep.
And as I said prior, I'll say it again, very talented group that we have. And then even, within the stores, like, man, I was super impressed with how, like, we were on our text thread, the ownership group of that.
Right.
It's like, we got a great team, man.
Yeah.
We got a great team of people. And we had a lot of our store managers at that event.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a big thing. Like, we bring everyone together.
Yeah.
Some team camaraderie. We took them out after. But it's like, man, we got a great group of people.
Yeah.
So learning from other people is important,
Mm-hmm.
and we can all learn from different people. So that's a different environment, for me than our workforce solutions stuff. And we're trying different things, or we'll try something similar, but it's like from a different avenue that we're getting there. And it just gives you an opportunity to like look at what you're doing, or, hey, we're doing this with our marketing, or we're doing, hey, we're using this technology, or, hey, this is a tool, like, Well, some of that stuff, it's like, man, this could be implemented in Workforce Solutions this way, and it
Got
just
it.
gets you creatively thinking.
Yeah.
So that's something I love about that. It's
Yeah.
like, how can you take something that's working over here, or that's interesting over here, and could you integrate that in?
Yeah.
Somewhere else?
I'm sure some people that are listening or watching today are thinking through the aspect, man, Aaron, that seems like a lot of work. That seems like a lot to give away. And you've painted a really good picture of the lifetime value of that client or the customer within a business model. Over the years, as you've run 7 very successful workforce solution companies, how have you seen the partnership with people year over year consistently build your business?
Well, I think it ties back to when you're talking about like the partnership within the businesses. You're
Yeah.
just bringing in other people with different skill sets and ideas, and you have your own set
Yep.
and your experience, and you know what works and what doesn't in some instances, and you're just going to have people that come in, if you are partnered with the right people
Right.
that have their own unique gifts, talents, abilities, acumen, experiences, and if you can figure out how to integrate that right, well, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
Yeah. You know what? I
It
didn't
can go
ask.
the wrong way
I
too, but
and you answered my question wonderfully. Let me reframe it because I wasn't super clear on how I asked it, and I want to be clear for you. What I was hoping to hear from you is one of the things that I've noticed at Spark Companies is how we treat people and how we do the right thing. And as that has happened, the lifetime value of our customers, because we've treated them right, because we've done the right thing over and over, has helped us retain that client or that candidate, been able to place them in the right place or place the right people at their organization.
yeah.
And I think any good business person, I hope, would think about retaining their clients and that lifetime value of a client. That's what I was more getting at and looking for you, how you've seen that consistently grow your businesses over the years by not always having to get new business. Because I think some people listening are probably in their head going, wow, that's a lot of work. I don't know if that's how I want to acquire new customers. And I know I've heard from you in the past, it's not always the right way to do it. But there is a very important part about once you've acquired that client or that candidate, keeping them in the pipeline. That's what I was going after and hoping to hear from you about.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be blunt and give you a pretty quick answer
Yeah.
back, like it's always going to be easier to continue and grow a current client relationship
Right.
and build it
Yep.
than it is to acquire new customers.
Yeah.
Acquiring customers is going to take more time, more work,
Yep.
more money. It's just more difficult. Part of that is just the experience is new compared to the experience is familiar.
Yeah.
And so there's parts of the process that you can speed up, right? And then the more work you do with someone, the more deeply integrated in you get to be with them, right?
Yeah.
And it gets easier. Well, okay, we're talking more workforce solutions.
Sure.
Let me flip this back to the pizza real quick.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't pertain to pizza. Well, I don't agree. I think it does. Once they have our number, saved in their phone, or they have
Yeah.
our app, or they have, we have their information, and we can send them, like you can do everything within your system once you have them as a customer, right? Well, it gets a lot easier to make them a repeat customer if they like the product and they're
Yeah.
happy with the service.
Yeah.
To go hunt down the new customer and get them into the store or onto your app, or to call you and to get all their information, and like that takes more work than the person that just clicks a button, clicks another button, clicks a third button, and the pizza's
Right.
on its way. So again, like it's easier to do that than to always be hunting down the new person that you have to get into that cycle.
Right.
So there's There's just two different versions of that, I guess,
You know,
or two different examples.
yeah, two different ways in that.
Yeah.
I've noticed as you've been talking about this, your smile a few different times. Two of them that I really picked up on. One, there really was a great joy in giving away those pizzas, whether they returned or not. There's an aspect of generosity in that that as a business owner just is very, very pure. The second thing that I saw is you really lit up when you talked about that continual relationship. And I just want people to hear, to pinpoint, maybe they are in more of a quick service or not a really highly relational business. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know that pizza I would see as like, oh, I know my pizza guy really well. I know the brand, I like the product. But there's still an importance there. And is there something there for you as one of the owners of those, 5 pizza shops that you teach your employees, or you were hoping your employees would build out of that, your team? Because both of us hate the word employee. We love the word team. That you were hoping that they would see coming out of this so that they saw the big picture in that.
I mean, you're not wrong in that not everyone like knows their pizza guy or whatever.
Right.
It's the same thing in staffing. Like it can be very transactional.
Okay.
Well, there lies your opportunity. The more you can build a relationship, or let's say create an experience, right?
Yeah.
The more you stand out.
Got it.
So, and there's just parts of it that, it is a cool thing,
Right.
to do for the community. And yeah, some of those people are never, probably going to come back. And
Yeah.
guess what? That's okay.
Yep.
Because maybe they don't come back, but they tell someone about that we did that,
Yeah.
and that person comes.
Yep.
Maybe it was just a good experience. Like,
Right.
hey, like, cool. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I feel good about that. Now, I think here's another key component of doing, something like that from a tactical standpoint,
Yep.
and why it may not be the right thing to do. Like, everything is about timing. Everything's about timing. So, here's the reality of this. In that business, in all our businesses now, one of the advantages of winning, over a period of time, is that it gets easier to operate with a long-term outlook,
Got it.
with a big picture mindset.
Yeah.
Which do the right thing, make the right investments in the short term.
Yep.
And you should always do that, but it's a lot harder to do that when you don't have the resources, or in this case, money to do it.
Yeah.
So here's a key component to this. So we have our operating partner within those stores who this is their main source of income.
Got it.
They have compensation plan,
Yep.
within the company, and they're an equity partner.
Got it.
We're not taking a salary out of the business. We're not even taking distributions out of the business. And now the business makes money.
Right.
We're funneling that into that growth that I talked about.
Yeah. Because there's a future there.
We're not taking, because we have a more long-term outlook on growing it.
Okay.
So because it's not a main source of income for, the other, partners, right? It gets a lot easier to get into these conversations and say, look, like, this isn't, us giving away this and doing this, and it dings our margins in the short terms on this day, this week, this month. Look at the big picture of it.
Right.
And none of us are in a situation, fortunately, where it's like we're having to pull distributions from that right now. In fact, it goes far beyond this, because not only are we doing it in this, but we're doing it to build out our next store. That's how we're going to do it, which is amazing. That, like, from a standpoint of, like, I feel very grateful that we're in a situation, where we can do that.
Yep.
Right. Well, when it's your only business and your only source of income,
Yep.
and hey, you still want to try, you want to do the right thing,
Yeah.
and you want to look at the big picture, you definitely want to build long-term relationships with people and focus on LTV.
Yeah.
But there's certain things within, like if, you losing, that $5,000-6,000
Yep.
on that day is going to put your business at risk. It's not the right time to do it.
Right.
If it's going to create a cash flow issue
Yep.
where, you can't pay your bills, or you have to start, hey, I can't send this bonus out to my team members this month because we did that. Like, well, it's probably not time. It can't, you need to be in the right position to do that. You need to have kind of your war chest built up.
Yep. Or within that, I'll just even drive people back to one of the prior episodes, knowing your numbers. Or you're able to do that because you do know your numbers.
Well, how do you build your war chest up over time?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I can stem that this is all the way back to biblical.
Yeah.
Like this is not a direct quote. You could probably do better at that than me. Not my forte, but I'm going to give it a shot here. Like in general,
Yep.
like we are not supposed to spend more than we make.
Right.
Right. Now, it's okay, I think, to have nice things.
Yep.
To be able to have some money to do, some fun things and have some good experiences, right? But we should be tithing. We should be setting some of that away. Some of that's going to go to taxes. Some of that you have some fun with.
Yep.
But that part that you're setting away, that's the part that you want to be, that you're building, you're compounding, and over time. If you take that approach all the time, over a period of time,
Yep.
you'll have a lot of compounding, and then you'll have the resources to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But when you're constantly ripping all that out, or ripping it out plus, putting a bunch on, where you're spending more than you're making.
Yep.
Okay, now you have issues and you can't get to some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You're
We can
not
go
foundationally managing that the right way.
Yeah, we can go deep Levitical law here if you want. I don't think our listeners, maybe some of them would love that, but we won't. Aaron, I love the perspective on that. There's a compound too of what you're talking about, that this isn't just the sexy headline, we gave away 960 pizzas. Why did we do that? Mm-hmm. There's an aspect that you did it because there's a plan within that. Mm-hmm. And you talked a little bit about that plan, that your hope in the growth of these 5 stores allows you to reinvest into another store and then another store. Like that's the plan. And I think people also need to keep that in mind. Don't just do something so that it's big, it's sexy, there's a wow factor. Have a plan behind it so that as you're doing it, the outcomes, what they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, what else within this do you want to share with people?
I think those are the main things. Like it's not, we don't have to beat a dead horse.
Right.
It's just, there's, you do something like this and it's, we have an intent behind it.
Yeah.
Part of that intent can just be to do some good for the community.
Right.
But it doesn't, this ideal where like I can do all these things at once.
Yep.
It can be great for the community. It can be good for the LTV of the business.
Yep.
It can create more brand recognition.
Yeah.
Hey, in doing that, like you're better set up to do stuff like that if you're well prepared, if you know your numbers, if you've compounded your efforts over a period of time. Like these are all reasons. Like, well, why would I do that? Why? Well, because it's going to help you continue to build your business down the road. It's going to help you to make decisions that are the right ones for the team, even when it hurts you personally in the short term. It's going to help you when you're trying to expand, all these things. So good little nuggets on how you get there without just throwing this out there.
Yeah.
And it being like, oh, this is what the brand new operator should do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do that. I wasn't doing that.
Right.
You could.
Yeah.
And I've had to talk to some of our newer operators about this at times where they want to, and they have good hearts.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, you have an amazing heart.
Yep.
And like, look here, we have some opportunities to do this.
Yep.
Like, hey, talent is, we do a big giveaway for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need to get into like every detail of that.
Right.
But like our other companies have started to get involved with that somewhat too. But
Yep.
it's like, hey, just do it within your means right now. You don't need
Yeah.
to do
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
more
as
than that, because we weren't doing that like back in year one, or
Yep.
like we've built up the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
Well, the way, first you got to help yourself
Mm-hmm.
to help others.
Yep.
I'm a huge proponent of that.
Yeah.
And the better you get overall, the more of an impact you can make to help others.
So good.
In multiple ways. And then you really get into, our purpose for Spark is to help people grow.
Yep.
We're always going to be this way. Like, we're a big proponent of supporting the family unit.
Yep.
Well, so within our giving, again, we don't need to get into our numbers
Yeah.
or anything like that, but like our giving is intentional in that, like, hey, we're going to give to things that are supportive of the family unit.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different things we could do. We like doing that with Thanksgiving because the whole point is like, hey, let's make sure people have the ability to come together over a meal with
Yep.
their loved ones, their family, maybe friends that don't have a family, but be supportive of that family unit. And that's a way with our dollars that we can do that.
Yeah. I love
So,
that.
I wasn't planning on going there today.
No, but that's
again,
a great way to
that's
wrap.
something that we've built. So it's like these new operators that like they get excited about us doing that, and we are talking to the team about what we're doing. They're like, oh, we want to do more. It's like, dude, just do what's within the means.
Yeah.
Because all in due time. Like, we keep acting like this is your future on this, and then some as we all keep growing. Like, you'll get there. Like, you don't need to do anything that's disruptive to you in
Mm-hmm.
the short term, because that could slow you down on the overall impact that you could provide.
Yeah. Yeah. Aaron, again, a ton of wisdom today. I'm actually really fired up about this this episode because it's, again, so tangible. There's a ton of different takeaways in it. So thanks for sharing that wisdom today.
Absolutely.
For all of you who are listening, we're almost 20 episodes into Sparking Success now, and we are starting to see the momentum build with that. You could help us a ton by taking this episode, sharing it to a few people, subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, a comment, those type of things. Aaron is also producing a whole ton of YouTube shorts and Instagram videos and stuff like that. And it's not for his purpose. It's not for his benefit. We hope that it's for your benefit. So today, would you take a moment, like, subscribe, share this episode, maybe some of the others. Take a minute, go back to episode 2 or 3, I think it is, Aaron, and check out the Knowing Your Numbers, because we reference that, and it's a great portion. And thanks today, especially for taking the time out to listen, to tune in to Sparking Success. We hope you have a great day.